Okay, in this video we're going to be discussing three things. First of all, blowing. Secondly, mouthpieces. And thirdly, the embouchure. Okay, blowing. Most people think that you have to blow really hard to get a sound out of the bugle. That is definitely not the case. So when blowing the bugle, it's nice and controlled and it's measured. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the mouthpieces. Now, with a bugle, you will get a mouthpiece with it, and you could get either a trumpet mouthpiece or a bugle mouthpiece. And as you can see, the main difference is that the bugle mouthpiece is short and stumpy in comparison to the trumpet. Now the sizing, the trumpet comes as a 3C, which is equivalent to a small on the bugle, or it will be a 5C, which is equivalent to medium on the bugle, or it will come as a 7C in the trumpet, equivalent to large in the bugle. The most common size mouthpiece that comes with the learner bugles is 7C in the trumpet and large in the bugle. All I would say is whatever mouthpiece comes with the bugle, give it a go and stick with it. It has an adverse effect if you keep chopping and changing mouthpieces all the time, because one of the things that we need to do when learning to sound the bugle is to strengthen the lips. That's what helps the embouchure, which we're going to be talking about in a minute. So, get your mouthpiece, stick with it, work with it. If after a few months you're still miserable about not getting the results that you want, speak to myself or one of the senior members, tell us what your problem is, and we will advise you on which other mouthpiece that might be better for you. But initially, just keep staying stuck with the mouthpiece that you've got. Stick with it. Okay, embouchure. Now, this is a minefield if you Google it, because we have experts on this hand that say this is the best way to get an embouchure. We want the lips tight. And then on this side, they say, no, this is way to have a best embouchure. We have a plump lip. So we've got experts on both sides saying this is the best way to do it. So all I can say to you is, if you want to Google it and you've got a spare day or two to read it all and find out for yourself what the arguments are and work out what's best for you, then that's great. But what I'll do is I'll tell you what most of the buglers do and have good success with. So, first of all, when we're blowing a bugle, we make a silly smile as if you're a ventriloquist. So we do this. So what we're doing is we're pulling the lips in together, and then we'll place the mouthpiece onto the lips. Now again, the experts on this hand say you want a third of the mouthpiece above on the top lip and 2/3 below. And then the experts on the other hand say no, you want 2/3 up on the top lip and 1/3 below. What you need to do is just try and find out what suits you best. So what we're after is we're after airflow, constant airflow through the embouchure. The embouchure is formed by the mouthpiece, by the lips, by the teeth, and by your bone structure. So try it 1/3 up, try it 2/3 up. Any way you want, you can try it, as long as you're able to achieve constant airflow with a buzz. And that buzz is the vibration of your lips. So if you put in the mouthpiece to your mouth in the center, which is one of the best places because it gives you the better range, and you get a noise like this, you've got a nice constant flow. But what we haven't got is we haven't got the buzz. We need the buzz, the vibration, because it's the vibration that causes the bugle to make the noise. The bugle is just an amplifier. So what we're listening for is a noise like this. as you can hear, it's nice and constant, it's strong, it's buzzing all the time, and that tells me it's a nice strong embouchure position for me. What you need to do is to find out where your best embouchure position is for you. So I would recommend starting off in the middle first. If it doesn't seem quite right, then move it off to the left or the right. Obviously try both sides to find out where you get the best airflow with the buzz. If I move this over to my left hand side, which I know isn't a good place for me, you'll hear the difference in the standard of the buzz. So I'm actually struggling and blowing a lot of air there to try and get that to constantly buzz. But it's not a constant flow like it was in the middle, like this. So as you can hear there, nice and strong, nice and constant, airflow going all the time. That's a good embouchure for me, and that's what you need to look for you. Okay, so we'll leave you with that. Just remember, don't blow too hard. Stay with the mouthpiece that they've got, and try and find your best airflow whilst making the mouthpiece buzz. And one of the best ways to make it buzz is to start off the blowing as if you've got a hair on the end of your tongue like that. Okay, so I'll leave it with you, and then we'll move on to the next lesson once you've got that. Bye for now.